anime. Come for the fan service, stay for the prophetic messages. I'm Ashley with WatchMojo, and these are the top 10 times anime predicted the future. For this list, we're going to be looking at the series that contained moments or mechanics that years later would become commonplace in the real world. Well, to a certain degree. Grab your otaku tinfoil hats and anime conspiracy theories. As always, you can catch me on Twitter at AshJBo, so head over there, give me a follow, and let me know which anime list you want to see next.
It's my virtual simulator. It creates lifelike holograms of every duel monster.
Number 10, Sydney got Gundammed. Mobile Suit Gundam.
It is the year 0079 of the Universal Century. A half-century has passed since Earth began moving its burgeoning population into gigantic orbiting space colonies.
Hey Zeon, leave Australia alone. They've got enough to deal with without you dropping space colonies on their shores. While mercifully, the real-life Outback didn't suffer the same fate as its anime counterpart, when the Principality of Zeon let a colony fall and essentially nuke the population, it did have to deal with some cosmic debris when the US's space station, Skylab, deorbited and ended up sprinkling its remains over the continent the exact same year that it was depicted in the anime.
People were horrified by the indescribable atrocities that had been committed in the name of independence. 8 months had passed since the rebellion began. They were at a stalemate.
So either space really hates Australia, or Tamino can see into the future.
What was that?
Number 9, Virtual Reality Gaming. Dot Hack and Sword Art Online franchises.
俺、今日が初めてでさ、序盤のコツ、ちょっとレクチャーしてくれよ。
It's fair to say there's certainly been a boom in the gaming sphere in recent years, especially with technology evolving at such a tremendous rate. If people aren't playing a battleground-style game like COD Warzone, totally predicted by Gun Gale Online by the way, they're trying out a new virtual reality game that physically immerses them more than ever before. Oddly enough, these two astoundingly popular franchises seem to have their finger on the pulse of these developments. There's a bit of a chicken and egg situation going on with which predicted it first, Dot Hack or the original Sword Art Online light novels, but we're finally in the age of VR headsets just as these two gaming titans had predicted.
Who cares? It doesn't really matter once I log out of here. Huh?
Number 8, Araki predicts a tragedy. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders.
なかなか変わった絵だな。印刷は抜群にしっかりしてるぞ。しかもフルカラーだ。
Okay, so we're breaking our own rule here and looking at a manga rather than an anime, but this one's just too bizarre to ignore. Fans may remember the duo of Oingo and Boingo, the younger of which had the ability to predict the future with his comic book stand.
お、10時半だ。
でも、その親切な旅人は
One of their first predictions depicts a man in a shirt with the numbers 911 written on it. We also see a creepy airplane grinning away in the background. The comic book then predicts that this man would be killed at exactly 10:30 AM, which is eerily close to the 10:28 AM attack on the World Trade Center. Did Araki predict the events of 9/11 in the creepiest of ways?
でも、奇妙な迫力と存在感のある漫画だ。
Number 7, Holograms YuGiOh.
I designed this virtual stadium myself. Impressive, hmm?
Sure, some of the oldest examples of the three-dimensional light fields we all associate with sci-fi predate this card game anime by decades. But when it comes to augmented reality projections being incorporated into entertainment and artistic industries, Yugi and company were just slightly ahead of the curve.
Brace yourself, Yugi. You've never dueled like this before.
We may be a little way off from recreating legitimate dual discs that let us summon holograms at any time, any place, but we can still pop on a headset and summon all the Blue Eyes White Dragons we want. Number 6, Self-Driving Cars. EX Driver. Have you heard of this series? Of course you haven't. While it doesn't necessarily have the golden oldie stamp of approval, it does have the distinction of being the first anime to impose the idea of self-driving cars.
Yes, sir. Reservations are confirmed. Please enjoy your ride.
Sure they do.
Really? Do you think they have cheese in them too?
While the narrative depicts a future where autonomous vehicles are being used by just about everyone, we're still very much in the testing stages. The West aren't likely to be getting any self-driving cars for many years now, but we are still very much on track for making them a glorified reality. Way to go, EX driver! This might be your one claim to fame.
System failure initiated. Emergency stop.
Number 5. VR Chat. Accel World.
ニューロリンカーが人々の生活に情報革命をもたらした。
While we're not at the stage where we can move freely inside a virtual world like we do in real life, that's not to say incredible strides haven't been taken to the point now where the scene in which Arita plays random games in cyberspace as his little pig avatar looks like something you'd see while jaunting through VR Chat. Though it's slightly unfair how they got someone as exotic as Princess Snowblack, while all we have is Knuckles the Echidna. Number 4, Virtual Idol / Lover, Megazone 23.
というわけで次はイブのタウンスクープの時間です。
This is it, people. The anime that first introduced the concept of a beautiful woman crafted in virtual reality that both entertains the public as a superstar while also serving as a love interest for our brooding protagonist. Granted, there are some key differences when compared to what we have. Instead of just one single performer, now we have an entire industry dedicated to idols with augmented personas, which in turn has branched off to create the VTuber movement. And as far as lovers go, come on, your deleted browser history speaks for itself.
そうなの。私バイクのことよく知らないけど、こんなに大きいバイク見たの初めて。
Number 3, Augmented Reality Glasses, Denno Coil.
あれは空間が壊れた時に出る霧だわ。
VR headsets are all the rage now, with every company under the sun trying to get a piece of that sweet virtual reality income. The same can be said for the anime scene from a narrative perspective, and the one to start it all was none other than this harmless show, where a bunch of kids use glasses to explore the various mysteries of their city, which by this point is half real, half internet. Aside from being a wonderful show, the way it presents the AR's software and the impact it has on the populace and businesses is scarily similar to what is happening on our end.
いたいた。電脳猫だわ。
Number 2, the Columbia disaster, Cowboy Bebop.
Maximum promotion!
There's still time to change your mind and leave, Miles.
Negative. Blue Sox fans never leave the game early.
Now this is just eerie. We all remember that classic Bebop episode where Spike is seconds away from getting roasted by the Earth's gravitational pull, only to be rescued by a pair of old associates via one hell of a risky rescue involving a space shuttle named the Columbia. Sure, it burns up on re-entry due to its heat-resistant tiles peeling off, but one crash landing later, and Spike walks away no worse for wear.
Whatever happens, happens.
2 years later, NASA's own space shuttle, also named the Columbia, suffered a near-identical incident involving the failings of its heat-resistant tiles, leading to the whole thing exploding. Yikes. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The 2020 Olympics. Akira.
There's no escape.
Aside from having the accolades of one of anime's greatest movies, serving as an inspiration for all dark and gritty sci-fi flicks, as well as just raising the bar for animation in general, Akira also has the rare honor of predicting the location of the Olympics decades later. In one scene, a signboard reveals that there's only a few months to go before the legendary sporting extravaganza takes place in Neo-Tokyo. And wouldn't you know it, it was scheduled to happen in real life too. Given how the world's completely turned to shit within the same time frame as our own, we'd say this was pretty accurate. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.